Hello, you guys. I don't know what other people might say about San Jose. It's my city. I was born here, and I attended school. Yeah, and it certainly is still a small city. It really is. Uh, Nobody really noticed us until we were organized as a free country, as when the government started having institutions to care for the water supply, electricity, the banking system, the oil supply as well. And so it became that it became apparent that even our social medicine system, which is one of the best in the world, even according to New York Times, even at that time, Costa Rica became organized. Yeah, for the most part, the people here belong to the criollos or white caste that came in colonial times. So we had no Indians. No, so there was not a very a class, I said, difference here in the country. The government has started imparting education everywhere, schools, and Costa Rica became one of the most advanced countries in the Americas. With the advent of closing of the army and using the money for other purposes to benefit the people, the social security, the medical system, and other opportunities gave the country a great benefit. Hey, everybody started here in Costa Rica. Is a democratic country in Latin America. It's the most stable and standard democratic system. The country started to become famous. Costa Rica created the ecotourism, you know. It was the Costa Ricans that wanted to do it. And nowadays people come here and think about the jungles and the animals and insects and whatever. But in the beginning, it was not so. It was not that way. Costa Rica started growing from within. You may think about Panama and the skyscrapers, but Panama is not Costa Rica. Costa Rica is agricultural near the mountains. We grow all sorts of vegetables. Costa Rica is populated mostly by Spanish whites. We call them again criollos. And so the development of the country has started since the beginning of the 20th century, even before that. So the politicians started having schools, opening high schools with European teachers. And so nowadays Costa Rica is and enjoys one of the highest standard of living in Latin America. Not just that, the educational system. Everybody studies in Costa Rica. Everybody does. So the country is very competitive in a global sense. Yes, Intel is closing down some plants here, but the thing has to do rather with marketing options, because the new plant in Vietnam or Singapore will benefit being close to the Indian and Chinese markets. It's very obvious. Anyway, people and many companies enjoy the very pacific and kind way of Costa Ricans in the marketplace. They're good employees, they're educated. Costa Ricans are pacifists for the most part. And so, what about the city? the city started growing, not without the money of narcos and in other countries, but especially from our own people that start having businesses around. The economy in the central core is still dynamic, even though this is the old part of the city and the area is being taken as such. Many migrants have come to Costa Rica and then they go because the country is so small. But for foreigners, it is more difficult. Many orders from northern countries in Central America, they dot many slums on the outside of San Jose in crime areas. Pretty much like Europe. Let's see, like in, let's put it, Denmark or Sweden. And they create problems, yeah. The country is still the city. I love the city. I walk around the city. Muggers, no robbers that take your money just away from you. Some people talk about Nicaragua. Nicaragua is run by a dictator. Okay, there's no investment in the country, so the people are rather very poor. And you might go to Nicaragua or other countries around, and it's not the same thing. You go to Colombia, it's a huge country. If you need to go from the coast to Bogota, you have to take a plane or drive 20 hours from one place to the other. Unemployment 50%. Many people don't have employment. Peru, pretty much the same. Ecuador, and the rest of the North Central America triangle as well. In many ways, we don't regard ourselves as Central Americans because the rest of Central America is poor and kind of very complicated. And honestly, we're on our own. But San Jose, for those people who come around, the pretty faces of our Costa Rican fair-skinned women, or white and dark-haired, with a bird man, many of them very handsome, they still show that Costa Rica is not only influenced by Spain, that our culture is rather more Spanish than Indian, which has produced rather a benefit in terms of social adaptation. San Jose is still worth a visit. The Central Market and other places around. I'm not afraid. I'm just not afraid. We're not afraid. Might be afraid of migrants. Yeah, hey. But not of us. Yeah. People in Scandinavia are more reserved. And well, honestly, I used to live in Europe and in the States, other countries. But if someone who's not looks like a foreigner or blown stops me on the street, if it's not that kind of people, I won't pay attention to. I keep walking at my own pace, like they do in Europe. They don't care about you in London or Paris or come on. That doesn't mean that in Costa Rica people are a little bit more friendly. Enjoy San Jose. Enjoy the south part of the city too. It has its own encampment. And thank you very much for listening to Costa Rica. We love the country.